we think service starts way before you get to the counter. And we've really gone through a number of iterations when it comes to our layout. Initially the layout was very kind of counter-centric, and I think that's kind of the dominant model in a lot of cannabis retail. But you're seeing this really wonderful shift to a layout that really puts a lot of the products and a lot of the education out on the floor so people can browse and take their time. There's no rush. One of the things that pains me is when you walk into a store and you get right into a line. With COVID, it's been a little bit of a challenge for us to adjust our model because we really do pride ourselves in making a very interesting and exciting environment just to look around and browse. So you have, lots of different people that come through the door. Some folks want to just go right to the counter and get what they want. But some folks, really this is their first time or they're having an experience. And they may spend 30 minutes to an hour just checking out all the things in your store. So you want to make sure to really engage all the different styles that enter through the door and have kind of a hybrid layout where you could have an express lane where somebody wants to get in and get out, but you also lay it out in such a way where somebody could browse and take their time. Browsing is one of our special sauces. We love to let people explore and discover new things. And when you're at the counter, generally, if you're in a line and that line goes right to the counter and you feel the pressure of people behind you, you're not invited to explore and discover. You're really invited to tell people what you want and keep moving because there's a line behind you. One of the ways this shows up is in our Soto store, which we're at today, and our Ballard store, which is where we were filming earlier today. Our Ballard store, we kind of took this idea of browsing and really finding a way to break all of our products out from behind the counter and onto the floor. So in normal times, when you enter the Ballard store, you're entering a big open sales room that has all of this display and all of this merchandising with lots of information, strain cards that give you aroma profiles and effect suggestions, and other information about the products. And so, you can actually spend a lot of time. Obviously, we're going to say hello to you when you walk in, but if you just want to browse and take everything in, you can do so without anybody bothering you. And if you have a question, people are more than happy to attend to that. So one of the interesting impacts when it comes to managing inventory, the layout has a very significant impact when it comes to what products sell and how different brands move. One of the things is when you access the counter, really the staff, the bud tender that's behind the counter is your gateway to all the products. And one of the common questions is, hey, tell me what's good. And so from that standpoint, you're really going to be accessing the bud tender stash, what they like to sell from. And while we would love to tell you about every one of the 100 strains that we carry, generally that's not going to be realistic. And so that was our model in Soto, and we switched that model all the way up in Ballard to where we had a full sales floor to explore. And one of the things that we found, which was really interesting looking at the data, is there's a report that we run in our system called the ABC report. And the A products make up 70% of your revenue. The B products 20%, and the C products 10%. And so really you look at, what products are our bread and butter. And so in Soto, where you access the menu through the counter, we saw a very short list of products that made up that 70%. Now, when we switched up the model in Ballard and we let people explore, what we then saw was this much longer list of products that made up the 70%. Primarily, that's because people got to explore and discover different brands, and there was no rush. So somebody, may go look at a brand that wasn't even on my mind, and instead of me, suggesting the things that I like, they're asking me to tell them about a brand that wasn't even on my mind. And so in that way, that exploration and discovery really drives a much broader, diverse buying behavior. And so it's really cool to see the impacts particularly having multiple stores, we can try out different things. So the store layout is definitely an important thing to really think through and meet everybody where they're at.